Hello everyone, I'm Nate. Welcome to my channel. Today I have here the newest, not yet released, from Freshly Dirty, the Mod44. Very excited to talk about this yo-yo with you, so let's get right into it. So if you've been following Freshly Dirty, which I love everything they put out. I've reviewed a number of things on this channel, so make sure you check out any of those other things that I've reviewed. I love all their D-size bearing yo-yos and some of just their unique approach to yo-yo and offering something that really isn't offered in the yo-yo community. And I like their take on things with being fun, but also innovative at the same time, and just quality overall. Let's talk. All right, so let's talk about the 44 here. All right, so most of their yo-yos have this little a little hub engraving on it. Let's get it turned the right way. Yeah, there we go. 44. So if you see the 4, do you see the 4s? Huh? It's right there. All right. So yeah, Mod 44. Obviously, Mod stands for modify, or modification, or just mod. So why is it a mod? Why is that part of the name? Well, you can probably tell that the center here is aluminum, but then the rings here, the rims rather, are Delrin, and they come off, and you can put other ones on, like these ones, or I dropped those, or like these ones. Yeah, there you go. And I'll talk about those, but you can change up the shape. Now, something like this has been done. It's been a while, but I don't think, to give credit where credit is due, I don't think it has been done as well as Freshly Dirty has produced it. They've taken a lot of time with this. It's been quite a long time in the making. And one of the smart things that they did, I think, out of the gate, is that when they release this, you have an opportunity to buy 3 different options. So you can buy, obviously, the base, you'll get that, but you could get 3 different yo-yos, essentially, right? Because you get 3 different rings, or ring designs, Delrin rings, and so you can swap them out. And so right away on the first release, you're going to have that opportunity to switch it up and buy the base and all the base sort of model at the beginning. Okay, now there's room for more. Obviously, one of the things I would really like to see, and I think they've hinted at, and hopefully they follow through with, is a smaller one, because the actual size of this. Let me actually pop these off. In the box, by the way, I got a little note there and a little QR code. Scan it with your phone. It takes you to their website, and it has a little text walkthrough, some pictures as well of how to pop these off. It is not difficult. The key of it is taking your time. So don't rush it. Don't just rip them off. So we'll do that now. Kind of walk you through a little bit of that. They've talked about doing a video at some point, like a tutorial of that as well. But the text-based instructions are fine. I think they're easy to follow, and the pictures there, it's not confusing. So first off, you're going to do kind of just take your thumb here and push it against the hub there, and you're going to just gently pop it. You're going to need to use some pressure, but I don't think you need to be like an adult necessarily. I think maybe not a little child. but you don't have to be like super strong. I mean, I'm obviously ridiculously muscular, but anyone could do this. So anyways, pretty easy to pop off. And under there, and since we got it open here, because I won't be having it like this for long, you do have a little O-ring there. That is what's holding it together. So aluminum here, all that. I like that black, by the way. It really pops with the white. I might dye one of these sets at some point. I haven't dyed Delrin for a long time, but for those who are into that, this is a really good candidate for that. There's going to be some really unique opportunities out there for customization. Anyways, so yeah, you got the O-ring there, and it's locked in there. So you could replace that. I'm not sure what size O-ring, but if it ever gets dry rotted or something happens to it, it would be easy and cheap enough to replace. I'm not sure if they offer that, but I'm sure if something happens, you could probably message them and they could send that to you. So we'll go ahead and pop up on a different side, actually, before we take this one off. Let's go ahead and do these ones. And so, like I said, 3 different options come with it. This one's going to be more in that V-shape category. So we'll put those ones on, but let's take a quick comparison here, just side by side. So these were the ones I had on. So it kind of gives you an H shape, almost even wedge shape, but a much more smaller width on that. This one's going to be quite a bit wider. So you know, when you put the V-shape ones on, it's going to feel like a much bigger yo-yo. Even as I was playing with it, it's kind of almost would be potentially like off-string worthy, potentially. Maybe, we'll see. Anyways, I'm not going to do it. All right, then the other one, and it's hard to tell until you get them on how different they are. Let me face them the right way here. So this was the V-shape one, and this one's going to be much more H-shape, and a much larger than the one I started with. So let's go ahead and put the V-shape one on and show you what it looks like here. So yeah, you're going to just pop it on, and you wanted to make sure that that O-ring is under there. So it's not too difficult. You just want to make sure it's not pinched. Okay, so once you get it on, I like to start kind of on one side. All right, there we go. It's snapped on, and just take it slowly. So I have had a few times where like the O-ring has pinched, and it's really easy just to pop it back off. If it's pinched, you know, you're going to probably get some vibe, so you don't want to do that. And overall, it's not going to be healthy for the O-ring. So we're just going to push that, just kind of go around, take your time with it, and there we go. All right. So it's not like a second swap, okay? It's not going to be like an instant swap, but there you go. It wasn't very hard at all. It didn't take a lot of pressure, but again, you just want to take your time with that, putting that on so that you don't pinch. That's the biggest issue, pinching that O-ring. Again, it's not difficult to miss that, just you want to be mindful of that. So there you go. It has one on, one off of different sizes. So you can definitely tell the difference there. This is the V-shape. This is the one that actually in the box, I don't know how they're going to send it, but this is the one they put on. And I don't know. They're very, very different feeling in the hand, right? This is going to be a larger diameter, so it's going to feel different, and the V-shape is going to feel different as well. Let's go ahead and pop this one off, and we'll put the other V-shaped side on. So again, pushing in the middle, taking your time, going around. There we go. All right, that one was a little bit stubborn. So I think it's not something that like you're gonna want to constantly be flipping through. Once you probably find a shape that you like, you're probably gonna stick with that. But it's nice just to have that option. So, you know, if you're gonna be carrying around something, I wouldn't see myself like carrying all 3 options with me. If I was going to throw this in a bag or something, I would probably just set it up for the day and just go. But then, you know, again, you still have that option and so on. So again, starting with making sure that that O-ring is not being pinched. Take our time to go around there. And there we go. And then it's set. All right, so I like that one. This one's kind of the larger one. The other one's it's about the same size, I think. Diameter-wise, it's about the same. But yeah, substantially. Like, look how much smaller the diameter on the other one, the one I started with, is. So the H-shaped one is going to be about the same diameter as the V-shaped design, but nice, comfortable shape there on all of them. And overall, just like the quality is right on par with everything from Freshly Dirty. Quality machining, and just all the little intricate things that are thought about. Very clean design. What is really cool about this is that for those who are makers, those who are tinkers, you know, this is going to be a really good yo-yo for you as well. And for those who 3D print, which is not myself, but if you have a 3D printer, they've already talked about that, and I think they even have some of the files that you can download and do even the CAD work and all that for, so you can make your own 3D printed rims. I mean, how awesome is that, right? Of course, you can dye these as well because they come in white. You can dye them and customize them however you want. So there's so much potential for that. As far as the body, the metal body is concerned, it'll come in different colors, some solids. I thought I saw like a some kind of speckle, kind of pink and black, I want to say. This is going to be released on the 29th of this month, so like in just about a week or so. So right from their site directly, freshlydirty.com. I'll have all that stuff in the links in the description box. So it'll be released there first, and then probably a few other places as well, anywhere you get yo-yos. So, but directly through them, 29th, you're gonna have an opportunity to get all three. It's $100 if you want to get the yo-yo base and all three rings, which I think is a steal for what you're getting, because you're basically getting 3 yo-yos and for $100. So really cool. All right, let's go and actually play it, see how it plays on the string. We'll kind of test out each of these and see how they vary, okay? And maybe I'll pick my favorite. All right, let's go. So as we sit here and play it, I think one of the questions that many of you are probably asking is how smooth is it, right? Because you're dealing with two different materials here, completely different. So the tolerances, as far as this is concerned, compared to even a bimetal, is really going to be important. So how smooth is it? Okay. Well, on the string, like, it's smooth. They do say if you're feeling any like major vibe, you definitely want to make sure that you put those rings on right. If you pinched that O-ring or something like that, that's certainly going to cause more vibe, and you don't want that. So go back, fix it, figure out what the solution is. And so it's all set up. I've double checked it to make sure that that's not the case. On like a grind or something like that, it's got a little bit of vibe, but it's kind of expected. It's incredibly playable, and it's not got any string vibe at all. But if I'm doing like the nail grind sort of test, this would not be on par with any of like the high-end metal yo-yos that they produce, for instance. It's gonna play and feel like very much like a Delrin yo-yo. Okay, that's kind of the feel and the vibe. So if you've played like a 100% Delrin yo-yo, I just reviewed one actually, it's gonna feel about that smooth. So that's what to expect. So I would put it in that, like, if we're doing 100% smooth being a 10, I would put it in like the 8.5. Okay, so that's pretty, in my book, that's pretty smooth, and that's quite the accomplishment. I don't think it's possible to get this 100% smooth. Now, when I took it apart earlier, I had a little, not whatever, and the bearing came up pretty easily. It wasn't super tight. So there might be some tolerances there that I guess if you wanted to make an overly tight bearing, but I'd rather have a bearing I can get out without ripping off some ano, than a bearing that's so tight that it's going to be almost impossible to get out. I didn't need a bearing removal tool at all for it. It came right out with my fingers. And so, but it was tight. It wasn't loose, obviously. But that may be the only option. The tolerances, as far as actually the O-rings and all that, it's solid. So this one's, the V-shape one here, is probably going to be the most performance-based one, because it's like the most flared out, the biggest, one of the bigger ones in the hand as well. And so it's not going to probably lean more towards that more comfortable pocket type size throw than the smallest ones. All right, let's go ahead and swap. Yeah, let's go ahead and swap these out for the large H-shape style ones, okay? All right, we'll talk about that. All right, so there's the H-shape one. This is the larger H-shape one. Nice, I like that profile quite a bit. I have it on there nice and secure. It's just as smooth as the V-shape, maybe a tiny bit smoother. I don't know. I don't think that's really gonna change depending on that. This actually might be my favorite of all of them, of all the designs. I like the feel in the hand. It's nice and large and in charge. I also like H-shape yo-yos too. So yeah, finger spins and all of that are gonna work really well with this hub design as well. That hub that does come up, it's not very high, so it kind of rolls around there nice and easy, and it's really easy to hit because of that kind of lip there that the design has created. Overall, I feel like the yo-yo, I think with most of them, feel a lot more middle rim weighted because of the design of it. I would say this one in particular, the H-shape one, probably has the most rim weight feel to me. All right, and finally, we'll go ahead and swap out for the smallest ones. And so that's gonna be a little bit more of a hand, smaller hand-friendly, pocket-friendly kind of thing. All right, let's check it out. All right, and here's the last one here. This is the smaller diameter one, still kind of that H shape. This would probably be up there with a kind of more of like a standard size yo-yo. The other ones are a little oversized, a little bit more like competition performance sort of driven in the shape and all that. This one's going to be that more like laid back everyday carry. I don't know, I'm kind of, as far as my favorites, I know I said that the larger H-shape design I'm kind of leaning towards. I still think I like that one the best as far as the play, but I lean towards this one too. I really like this one. I probably played with this one the most because that's how it came out of the box, and immediately that's the one I was starting to play with. But yeah, I mean, again, it's all about preference, and you can kind of swap out. So depending on even how you're feeling about the yo-yo you're wanting to pick up that day, you change it up, right? So for this one, I would actually say this is probably the smoothest out of all the options as far as the feel, and I think it's because it is smaller in diameter, and so there's just less tolerances that you have to worry about. There's something about physics or something. Anyways, but I do feel like it's a little bit, just a tiny bit more smoother, just because comparing them, like having just played the other two, I can feel the difference. I didn't really feel it before until testing it here. There's nothing out there like this. Again, things have been attempted like this, but Freshly Dirty, I believe, has executed it in the best way it has been executed thus far. I'll work on my sentence structure later, but the fact is, I really like the Mod 44. I think it's so cool. I think that it fits within Freshly Dirty's sort of take on yo-yos. It just feels like a Freshly Dirty yo-yo. It looks like one, even though they don't have anything Delrin. I don't think they do, right? Yeah, I don't think they have anything Delrin out there, yet alone obviously like this. And so, but I'm glad that they pulled it off, and that they took their time on it. I think that really shows, and you know, you got the full package of it at the release date with all three different rim options. There's room for more releases in the future as far as that's concerned. And obviously there's room for potential for those who are tinkers and modifiers and 3D printers and all that kind of stuff. So just really cool. I think it's really going to appeal to a lot of people, and people like me who may just leave it as is, right? So they've done all the work for you, but you can also kind of bring your own sort of take on it as well. So that's the Mod 44 by Freshly Dirty. Again, this is going to be released on the 29th from Freshly Dirty's website. I'll have all that information in the description box and the links to everything. All right, that's going to do it for now. Until the next one, later.